Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Modern Engineers. And you join me in my office as I realize something quite devastating, or, well, more or less about to be devastating. I've noticed that as I was working on the battleship, that I am running low on aluminum plates. And unfortunately, in the cargo ship, I do not have any raw bauxite ore to make said aluminum plates. So we're going to have to rather rapidly get aluminum plates somehow, some way. So, the first option is going to be some bauxite, obviously. And I've been looking on the map for a while to try and figure out what's the best way to go about it. And I think we're going to have to build a bridge. So, uh, here's a base. Uh, that's where we're located. And the bauxite ore, according to the chart, is about there. So we're going to have to build a bridge here in order to get over to it because it's way too far inland to get to by boat. And it's probably going to be easier just to go by bridge. So this whole episode is going to be basically building a bridge. So I'm going to go grab some supplies and kind of get started. Okay, that was a very long drive, but we're here finally. About 10 kilometers, it seems. It took 40 minutes to drive out here. I think I have enough supplies so that we can build the bridge. At least that's the hope. We're going to build a dual carriageway, so it'll have two bridges, and it's going to be kind of a crescent bridge when it's done. But right now I'm just going to try and see what I can do about laying out the bridge and kind of getting a good idea. I want to build it semi-realistically. I understand that the limits of space engineers, there isn't much I can do, but we're gonna still try. First, we're going to line up this section here and just make sure that we can get across. So we're going to try and build this center frame here. And this is where you can kind of see where I am a shipbuilder and not a bridge builder. But we'll kind of get some of the layout done first and see where it goes from there. Use some of this beam block here too, because I kind of want to build the frame around the road bridge, but we'll see where that goes. Alright, so made it to the other side. This is a lot bigger project than I thought it was going to be. I think we're about 200 meters, give or take. Yeah, I don't think I brought enough materials to get across this bridge. I'm starting to question whether or not this can be done in one episode. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's quite a massive project. At least I don't have to worry about it clipping into ships. I'll clean some of this up here. Okay, so we're going to get some of these road sections. Now, I'm gonna do it kind of cheaply. I'm not going to fill these out because it just would take way too long to actually build this bridge. So we're just gonna have to use it one piece at a time. It's also my second time using these road pieces. I'm not too happy about them. Yeah, I don't like that. We're gonna have to adjust this. Try and see if I can find that slope. There we go. 5x1. Hey, actually, it would be a decent idea to have a walkway in the middle of the bridge. Yeah, for maintenance purposes or, you know, passenger. Because the idea is that, realistically speaking, that I'm not going to be able to drive 2 hours to the bauxite mine and back. So I'm thinking what I'll do is try out that new AI self-driving car mod, and the idea is that I'm going to set up like a warehouse or a logistics center kind of in Sunset City, and from there I can send action relays and orders for parts and materials, and the trucks can automatically drive. So this is more for the building for the trucks to be able to drive to and from those locations. At least that's the theory. So it looks like they're 5. Yeah, they're 5 across. Oh, they're more like 4. I don't think I have enough materials to actually finish this bridge in this episode. I'm gonna have to definitely figure something out. Yeah, so I guess this is the kind of theory. We'll have a two-way road essentially. It's a dual carriageway, and the idea is that we'll have a to and a from road, and the idea is that this center beam in the middle will be our maintenance access or our passenger crawlway. And the reasoning being is because the AI trucks, I don't want to get in their way, and I don't know how well their collision detection is, and I don't want to find out on a really long and high bridge. So the idea would be that I would probably pull up to the bridge on the side on a service road and crawl underneath the roadway and then onto the main bridge. And then that's how I can do services or repairs. The bridge is also going to have to be self-powered, so we'll have to figure that out. It's going to have to get some electricity for signs and lights. Yeah, this is a massive project. Upside is that this is pretty high, so the wind turbines should definitely be just enough to run the bridge. But yeah, I mean, it looks okay for now. I think we're gonna focus a little bit more on some of the beams here. We'll try and get some more road sections in. I want to try and figure out this transition here. Get some of these supports underneath. I am going to have to come back and actually build the rest of the bridge. My idea is going to be, it's going to be a crescent-shaped bridge. Kind of like the ones that you see that go over large canyons. It'll have like a half-moon shape underneath. But for now, I think it's just a good idea just to kind of get across, because we can always buy supplies from Sunset City or stuff like that. But right now, let's just try and get the construction started. Because I have a funny feeling this is going to take me probably a couple of weeks, rather than a couple hours. I will also paint this road once we're done the right color. I don't know. I'm still not kind of liking how this is. It feels tight. Right? There's not a whole lot going on this, but let's see if we can try and get the roadway section kind of done. See what we're gonna work with here. Kind of thinking half blocks. They'll be cheaper to produce. They'll be cheaper to make. So we'll do something like this. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. I usually edit most of this stuff out. I'm not very coordinated when I'm thinking about how it's gonna work, so I'm trying to get better at it. But with the new mic, I can try and get some live sessions in. I mean, it looks okay. I think I can see this. This kind of is the girder section that's going to hold up the road bridge. I had an idea. We're going to cut a section out here. I think we're going to actually make it wider, because I really don't like that there's only one gap. Yep, making it wider. I'm going to like try these floor blocks on. I think I like this design a little bit better. Unfortunately, it also means that we're pretty much out of supplies. This is not a lot of material at all. In fact, I came here to build a bridge and I built a small section of it. Like, we're completely out of supplies. So I'm gonna have to go back to base and get more supplies. Alright, well, back to base I go. Alright, so as you can probably tell, I cut out most of the stuff. I'm just gathering as much supplies as I can. I'm a little bit working backwards. Usually I plan a project out for months. This one was kind of last second. I needed a bridge. I'm still kind of unsure how it's going to work. I still kind of have no idea how I'm going to get bauxite aside from hand drills for now, or how to transport it, but I'm just going to cut to when I'm done loading this truck and getting back on the road, I guess. Alright, I think this should be enough supplies. Hopefully. Like I said, I did not plan this through at all, and I really should have. But we'll get onto the bridge here soon, and we'll try and get as much materials onto the bridge as possible, and at least try and get it powered and moving today. I'm hoping to get to the other side, but we'll see. Alright, so back at the bridge, and I decided to do something smart for a change and actually measure the length of the bridge. It's about 280 meters. I'm going to actually mark the center of this bridge because this is where the crest is going to have to come to the top. But this is a decently sized project, unfortunately, which means that I'm not going to be able to finish this in one episode at all. This is probably going to take a lot more material than what I have even on this run. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the project. Since trucks will not be driving on this bridge for quite some time, we're going to, instead of mad rush it and try to build both sections at the same time and waste a bunch of materials, we're going to only open one side of the bridge. We're not going to have any trucks drive on it until the bridge is finished, but if I finish that connection between Sunset City and here, I might be able to get some more supplies that I can spend with money. There's that lag again. But yeah, we'll open only one side of the bridge with what materials we have, and then that'll just kind of leave me to focus on the structure so that we can I'm not rushing. I don't want to rush the project and get it unfinished. But this is just to mark the center. It's just a work in progress. We'll see where we go from here. But I'm going to focus on the structure and the road bridge. All right, so I like these floor blocks a little bit. Might use them more often. But unfortunately, I think I had an idea. Is I want to widen this sidewalk. Instead of it being, oh, there's that lag again. Instead of it being 1 block, we're gonna do 3.
Inventory full.
The reason is I'll have room for barrier. I'll have room for the lights and all that stuff. Because the center walkway is more for like maintenance than actual pedestrian walking, because I'm the only person here. So the idea is that I'll probably access it via a service road and come onto the side and just kind of crawl up under the bridge and do some maintenance. I want it big enough so that it has a barrier that I don't get run over by trucks, but we'll probably put these blocks on here next. Okay, next we're going to do the road bridge section. I'm using these frames to kind of support the weight of what would be concrete. And then we're going to widen this as well for another service access on the other side, possibly a barrier to prevent the trucks who collide into it from going over the side and being lost. It's not so much to save a person's life, because these would be drone trucks, but it would be more to save the supplies. I'd rather stop the entire bridge worth of traffic just to prevent a truck from going over the side. So yeah, my cunning plan to make this bridge a lot easier and cheaper to build is by making it bigger, unfortunately. But hey, you know what? It'll look nice, I think. But at least today, what I'm going to focus on is trying to get at least power and the ramp section figured out so that I can access the bridge, and then we'll try and get the road section worked on a little bit more. But yeah, so that's going to be the plan. We're going to probably put some supports for the ramp. All right, so power. I'm going to use these turbines because that makes the most sense. Is that lag again? God damn, where's that coming from? We're going to use 2 turbines at this section of the bridge. I might add batteries, but they might also not be really necessary, because this bridge is not going to be powering any civilization or powering any machines. It's literally just going to be powering lights and signs over the bridge. And it might not even be powering the signs. It might just be letters. But I'm going to go ahead and get the power section figured out. Alright, so that should give us some power here. Alright. Let's see how we're doing. I'm going to build out this frame a little bit more. Alright, let's see. This is optimistic because the road bridge hasn't covered it yet, but we're producing not that bad, about a couple megawatts. Not enough to run anything significant, but you know, a recharge station and a few lights should be more than enough. That lag is killing me today. But we're gonna kind of focus on getting the rest of the bridge assembled here. Alright, so I laid out all the unused sections right there. And I think I have the ramp figured out. Like I said, we're going to only focus on one side of the bridge today, until we get the bridge sorted out. You can hear the turbines running. But yeah, we're going to focus on getting only one side of the bridge done. and we'll come back and finish the other side once this side is finished up and easily usable. But you kind of see the frame design work here. This is just the section that's holding up the bridge. We're still holding up the road bridge. We're gonna do a whole crescent structure underneath the bridge. That's gonna be supporting the actual weight of the bridge, but that won't be done until a lot later because it's gonna just be more expensive, and fuel for my jetpack is gonna be pretty expensive because I can't build scaffolding. Now I know that's what would be built first, but it's not gonna look good if I don't do the road section first because I need to know what the road section is going to look like. But at least we have power, and then maybe one day in the future I'll hook it up to the grid, but I don't necessarily see a need for it. But yeah, we're gonna definitely figure this out. I think this is gonna have to also be done on the next logistic episode. But yeah, I have the service road kind of laid out. That's just going to be the sections of the bridge right there, and then we'll move on. So I'm man enough to admit that I got lost in the night. So I decided to pull up to this place because I finally made a decision. I am going to turn this spot into a farm in the future. So I'm going to claim this grid. I wasn't going to because I felt like it was decent and giving me some supplies, but it's an unknown grid. It's just got a helipad here, so I'm coming to collect the rest of the supplies from here and transfer it to me. We're gonna eventually turn it into a farm, and you'll see why in a second. I'll show you here. Just gonna grab the rest of the gear. Alright, so the reason I'm gonna turn this into a farm is because it's on a large flat area, and you see how low I have to dig to get to the water, which means that I could set up a well pretty easily and get water to not only the crops but also the power generation if I need to and stuff like that. So this actually makes a really good idea. It's small, it's already self-sustaining, so all I'd have to do is just basically make this a little drone control area. And then, oh, okay, so I still have to grind those down. Got it. That's annoying. But you know what? I'll figure that out later. But yeah, I could build a farm, with some barns and stuff like that, and pretty simple. Alright, I'm also going to go grab the gear that was left behind a couple episodes ago with the helicopter because I couldn't carry it all. But yeah, this area could be easily a farm, and we're gonna definitely turn it into that. So we're gonna have to start hunting down some seeds and getting some materials. I might have to buy some, but we'll see where that goes. So it looks like that drone is still here. Oh, he's delivering too. I wonder what's going to happen now that he doesn't have a base. I mean, if he powers down, I might, you know, take him. Could use a little helicopter drone. The hard part would be converting him into not use reactors. There we go. Oh, nice. Bunch of iron. That stuff's important. We're gonna definitely grab all this. Thanks. Too bad he didn't drop off any seeds. But, okay, so that's all loaded. And all the materials are good to go. Kind of wish that I could take that drone, but, you know, moving on. We're going to wrap this episode up. I'm definitely going to have to come back on another logistics episode and finish that bridge. I wonder where he ran off to. But we're definitely going to have to do more with that bridge, unfortunately. There he is. Flying off on his own, I guess. Might have to shoot him down one of these days to take that drone over. Make a nice little cargo carrier. But yeah, no, we're going to wrap this episode up, and we're going to carry on with the next episode. We're going to kind of do a little scheduling order. So, next one will be shipbuilding. So, quick little service announcement here. I'm going to carry on continuing with a sort of rotating schedule here, so that I'm not focusing on one project for too long and making a bunch of boring content. So the idea is that it's going to be a main project video, which in this case is Project Alamo, and then it's going to be a logistic episode, and then a voted ship episode done in my Discord, and then another logistic episode, and then it'll carry on back to the main project. So this will kind of wrap itself up. The next one's going to be back on to Project Alamo, so hopefully you guys enjoy that a little bit more. I know that I got the recording done, and I enjoyed building some of the internal spaces, so we'll see how it goes. As always, you guys can reach out, questions, comments, all that stuff. Feel free to hit the link below for my Discord, and I'll see you all in the next one.